everyone, I'm Shireen.
And I'm Abby, and welcome to the Realistic Backpackers podcast.
We met while travelling Southeast Asia, and now she can't get rid of me.
For years, we have made travel our entire personality, and now it's time to share it with you too.
So join us as we bring you into our world while keeping it as realistic as possible.
This is your weekly dose of travel tips and tricks.
And this week, we're just going to be having a big old catch up because, my God, do we need one.
Please like and subscribe and share us on your socials. Let's get into it.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm kind of nervous about this episode, I'm not going to lie.
Why?
Because obviously it's been like, I think the last time we recorded, I'm pretty sure I was in Uzbekistan in like October. And
excellent.
I mean, we obviously need to do a big catch up, and there's been a lot of not so positive life happening since then. So
yeah.
So I just feel like this episode could get a bit emotional.
Long episode.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I feel like I could potentially have a bit of a breakdown as well at some point. So that happens.
It's okay.
Where are you?
This is our therapy anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly, and it's supposed to be our safe space, right? So. We'll just unload. This will probably
the whole world.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like we'll probably talk more about. I'll probably talk more about what's happened in the last few months in the next hour than I have in the 6 months while it's been happening. You know.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah. Anyways, where are you at the moment?
I'm home. What was that voice? I'm home. I am home right now. I'm home for a month before I'm off again, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, for everybody that doesn't know, I quit my job in the end of October because Shireen booked flights to Sri Lanka, and obviously I had to go with her because that's what a normal person does.
I mean, I feel like that. I've also told people like that story quite a few times now, and every time I do, they look at me like, "Wait, what do you mean she quit her job so she could come to Sri Lanka with you?" And I was like, "Did I stutter?"
Yeah. So I've just been building my freelance life again. Yeah, I'm at home for a few weeks before, because I've got some mates coming back to the UK, so I wanted to be here for that. That I haven't seen in a few years. So yeah, and then I'm off to Spain, and then San Francisco, Alaska, and Canada.
You know what? I was actually about to cut across you and be like, "You haven't told me you're going anywhere." No, I didn't know that. Now I know where you're going. Yeah, you're going on a cruise.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited.
I think it's going to be so cool. I think it's going to be absolutely bizarre, but it's going to be so cool.
You know the thing I'm most excited for? I'm going to take a big wheelie suitcase.
Well, do you know what? And obviously this is including the catch up. Obviously, once I leave here, I'm going home, and then I'm not going to have a backpack for at least 4 months, potentially 5.
Crazy.
Isn't that wild? And I'm very excited about that as well.
But yeah, so yeah, going to Spain with the girls. I haven't been on a girls' trip with them in 10 years, even though they go every year because I'm never here. And then, going back to San Francisco for a few days to say hi, because it's been it'll have been over 6 years since I left. And then, Alaskan cruise. Well, we're doing a bit of an Alaskan road trip, and then the Alaskan cruise. And
That's insane.
Yeah, and then I'm making everybody paraglide off a mountain in Vancouver. And then,
of course you are.
We're going on a road trip around BC, which I'm very excited about.
That's going to be literally... So how long are you away for in total?
I think a month, maybe a bit over.
Okay, okay, yeah, fair. And how long is the actual cruise bit of it?
Only 8 days.
Okay, yeah, nice. I can't wait to see how the cruise goes,
I'm so excited. Honestly, me too. I'm just so intrigued, so intrigued. Maybe I'll come back a different person. Maybe
you'll become a cruise ship person.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of becoming a thing at the minute. Like everybody who's
Yeah.
like always poo-pooed cruises are going on them like, oh my God. But I think
Yeah,
I'm
I
only gonna
know.
like it because of where it is.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how you find the like bit on the boat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. Because I think there's only like one sea day or two sea days, but like those two sea days were in glaciers or like next to glaciers. So like I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
but
True. It'll
yeah,
be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
it's
I'm
also going to
excited
be
to see all
so
the
weird going back
content.
to America.
Yeah, because obviously you left
And
right in the pandemic.
yeah, and also like obviously with everything going on at the minute, like obviously I shouldn't be saying this on here, but like I just think I'm gonna get deported. I don't think I'm actually gonna make it into the country. Like everyone's told me I'm gonna have to delete my social medias before I go. So
Yeah, I am a little. Cause and the thing is that I do fear. No, I don't fear. Like it is a fact that if you don't get into America, like at least 50% of the reason is because of me.
well, obviously,
Because you've only become problematic, like from a getting into the US perspective, since you've become friends with me and actively talk about Iran
well,
all the time
yeah,
and like make podcasts about Iran and, and all of the
and
stuff that
text
comes with
about
that.
Iran and like shit on America all the time, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then I
Although I
just think
feel
in
I
my
feel like
head,
you'd be shitting on America anyway, so I don't think I'm going to take the blame for that one.
yeah, that's valid. That is valid. I do shit on America without you.
I'll take the rest of it though.
That's why you're only 50% of the problem.
Exactly.
I I just like, but I'm also like, obviously, I want to like do all this fun stuff, and it'll be really sad if I don't make it into the country. But at the same time, like, I just
Good
feel like
story.
it'll be an interesting story.
Yeah, it'll be a great podcast episode
And I know
talking about you
obviously
getting deported.
people have had some, yeah, I know some people have had some really hellish like detention stories. So I'm not saying that that's necessarily what I want, but at the same time, I do just think if I don't get let into the country because I have a podcast and talk about Iran, then like we love freedom of speech, eh?
And also, sorry, but like surely low key that's a flex that like, you know, we're this podcast is good enough that the American government cares.
Exactly.
So like, I mean, really, who's the winners? And it's for us.
Definitely us.
But also, I would be quite sad about all the money that you'd no doubt be losing.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
feel like
it's
that's probably
alright.
the
It's fine. It
biggest.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
Life
fine.
goes on, you
It'll be
know.
fine. Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
If I don't get let in, then hopefully the podcast will blow up, and then it won't matter anyway.
Yeah, yeah, we'll just make some really, really good content about it.
Anyway, where are you, hun?
I am back in Siargao in the Philippines, one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. I've been back here since, like, I mean, at time of recording, like 5 days. I'm here for a month-ish. Um, just I need to get back to London for one of my best friend's hen parties. So I just need to figure out like how I do that at the moment, obviously.
Because
But for
obviously the
now I'm
plan
in
wasn't
Siargao.
to go to Shargal, was it?
No, no, no. So, and we can get more into this, but as part of my breakdowns that I've been having the last few months, I had actually booked a flight to go home. But okay, so basically, I came back out to South. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, I came back out to Southeast Asia in January, and I was in Thailand in Chiang Mai for a month, and then I was running two group trips, one in Thailand and one in Philippines, and they were great, like absolutely loved it. But when I was on the Thailand group trip before the war kicked off or anything, I basically just been thinking about it, and I decided that I wanted to go home. That with everything going on, like, yeah, I just wasn't
Sorry,
really
that was
feeling.
pre the war kicking off.
Yeah,
I feel like that feels like a lifetime ago. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, because so I basically made the decision to come home, and I booked flights home for as soon as
Yeah.
this trip ended, and I booked them 2 days before the war started through the UAE. So
Mad.
obviously that they got cancelled, and but then I also like landed in the Philippines and was like, oh, I'm back, like I'm so happy to be here, like maybe I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
And then flights were also just like extortionate. So I was like, no, I physically can't pay like £1,200 for a flight from Southeast Asia home. Like I won't do that.
I called
Um,
Shireen one day when she was debating what to do, and I was like, why is this even a debate, babes? Like, why are you trying to force yourself to get home right now?
no, like literally, it was so stupid. So I booked and came straight out. So I've got a little place here for a month, and I'm so happy to be here. Like I actually feel like I'm so glad I didn't go home. I mean, if I had gone home, like obviously it would have been the right decision, blah blah blah. But I'm also glad that I'm here, and it's really really nice to be here, and I just love it here. Like I just love it so much. So yeah, I'm here for a month, and then but I absolutely have to get home by the end of April for one of my best friend's hens, as I said. So that's where I am at the moment.
Very exciting, very exciting.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for the next month?
And literally just like routine. Um, Gym, run, surf, work. That's it.
Because I feel like
That's the
that's a really
entire
big thing
yoga.
for you this year, isn't it?
Yoga. Lots of yoga.
It's a big thing for you this
Um,
year to get back into the routine, hey?
yeah, definitely. So, I mean, like obviously, like so I was in Chiang Mai for a month, so obviously that was great, and then I was traveling for a month for these group trips. But then apart from that, like until September from now, like it is literally just going to be like routine and working and normal life. I mean, obviously a month of it's going to be in the Philippines, but normal life. Do you know, rather than like out traveling and like going to new places or anything like
Mm-hmm.
I've like not doing any of that until at
Mm-hmm.
least September. Which is crazy, but I'm also like really looking forward to it. And it's really interesting. I was having this conversation with one of the girls in Chiang Mai, and I was basically saying to her like, because of like like over 3 years of like consistent full time travel, I realize how much like I need to be constantly doing something new and
Mm-hmm.
something like exciting to like stimulate my brain. And like when I was in Chiang Mai and I was
Mm-hmm.
in routine and like I was like literally like getting up, like doing everything, like having breakfast, going to the gym, working all day, meeting friends for dinner, and going to bed, right? And I was literally every day I was like, oh my god, like I should go and do something. And then I was like, but why? Like you literally are. Like this is what normal life
Mm-hmm.
is. Like it is just like
Mm-hmm.
working and maybe seeing friends and then exercising and whatever. But it's been so long since that's all I've done that like
Mm-hmm.
my brain just can't comprehend it. So I was like, if anything, I actually like from like I actually like need to be like in like mundane routine to like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
reprogram my brain now after so long,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think because my thing was that like when I came back, I just like would pack my days that I just was like constantly doing
Mm.
stuff, and that's what I'm having to do this year is like reprogram and like do less. And the thing that I find really frustrating is like my friends are like, Abby, you need to do less, and I'm like, but I literally am. Like, I don't think you understand.
I'm
Like, this
doing
is less.
nothing.
So it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like it will be for me too. But I also feel like it's like nice and I am like enjoying it and like I'm trying to like I don't know, but like for example like read in the evenings and like things like that. Things that are like
Yeah,
that I really enjoy doing, but I just don't do because I
yeah,
never have downtime.
yeah,
Because I'm either always traveling or working.
yeah.
So yeah, so I feel like that's definitely interesting. But I'm really, really excited for this chapter, and I'm really excited to like get into the swing of it. And sorry for everybody who doesn't know. Basically, my plan is I'm in Sharga now for a month, and then I go back to London for Hens, but then I go back to Dublin for a month, and then at the end of May, I'm moving back to London for summer. Basically, three of my really close friends are getting married, so I'm going to be there from like the end of May until about definitely until like mid September. So that's the plan at the moment. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited for you too.
Yeah, and I feel like with everything that's gone on in the last 6 months, let's say, um, I feel like it's probably the best time for me to be doing it.
Yeah. And also, me and Shireen are actually going to see each other in the UK this year, which is baffling.
Yeah, and I mean, Abby might even come to Ireland. It's wild.
Yes, at some point, definitely coming to Ireland.
Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be wild. I mean, we
Maybe
got close.
we're like
I mean, the
actually
close.
getting older and getting more mature here. Who knows?
I mean, let's not get too. Let's see how I feel in September. Come back and we'll have this conversation again.
I know. I know.
It'll be interesting to see how
Yeah.
I find it and like how I find being back and everything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've like said to myself that I'm gonna do the full summer at home this year, like not go anywhere.
Oh
Um,
wow. Well, I mean, I'm planning on doing the
yeah,
full summer in London and not going anywhere. So
yeah. Um, because I literally couldn't tell you the last time I did that. So I think
yeah.
when I come home from the US and Canada, I'm gonna like maybe do like a weekend trip to Europe because like gotta keep yourself sane. But other than that,
Well, yeah.
be in the UK until September.
Okay, nice. I also feel like prob we should touch on, well, I mean, if we look at it like chronologically, the last time we recorded, like I said, I was in Uzbekistan. Um, then what happened? Then I went to Pakistan. Then I went to Iran, and then
Yeah,
we went to Sri Lanka together.
we
So let's talk about Sri
did.
Lanka.
Guys, go and go soon.
Yeah, I
Honestly.
mean, we'll definitely obviously do a Sri Lanka ep, but for now, what is like high level highlights for you, or how did you find it? Tell me.
Um, well, I think this is a bit of a rogue highlight, and we both have this, I would say. But honestly, anybody else we're speaking to doesn't get it. But we loved Candy. We literally loved Candy.
Had the
We spent
best time
5
ever in
days there,
Candy.
guys.
Literally, and every like I say that to, they're like, "What did you do there?" I'm like, "I don't know, a lot, not a lot at the same time."
Yeah, we actually did quite a lot. But anyway, so loved that. Obviously Adam's Peak was amazing, which I went and did on my
Yeah,
own. Yeah, that was really cool. I did like the coast, but obviously, well, we'll talk about that in a sec. But Shireen had to leave me on the coast, but that was cute because I got to catch up with friends. Um, and the train, obviously the train.
the train
I
was
don't know if you
good.
remember what we did. Is that really bad? The
Do you know
caves?
what I loved? I loved the cooking class we did. I thought that was great.
Oh my god, yes, the cooking class was
It was
incredible.
amazing, wasn't it? And actually, do you remember that
The cooking
guy
class was incredible.
that was on the like with on us with us, and he like added me on Instagram because he was like, oh, he was like, if you ever go into Nepal, like let me know and I'll give you tips, whatever. And
Yes.
then he came up on my Instagram, like he like posted something, and I was like, who the fuck is this? And I have to like go onto his profile, like search and be like, who the hell is this like man? Um, but yeah, then I was like, oh yeah, yeah, no,
And he went to uni
it's
with
him.
one of my home friends.
Yeah, which is so funny.
And we obviously bumped into a guy I hadn't seen in 5 years.
Oh my God,
Five and a
fully
half
forgot about
years.
that.
We were literally walking up a street, and all I could hear was Abby, and I turned around, and it's a guy I lived in San Francisco with. Literally genuinely hadn't seen in 5 years, but it was
That was
so nice to
crazy.
see him. It was so nice to see him, and like I bumped into, well, we like caught up a few times along the way, so that was nice.
Yeah, that was
Um,
crazy. I've completely forgot about that. But oh my God, the um people in Sri Lanka are amazing. Although, and I'll ask you this
yeah,
because so okay, so again, before I say it again, so basically so my plan was to go to Sri Lanka for 5 weeks. I obviously messaged Abby, told her I was going to Sri Lanka, so she quit her job to come and join me. So we spent 2 weeks like in kind of going from basically from Negombo to Ella. And then the plan was to do a week, Abby to do a week on the coast, and then I'd stay on for another couple of weeks and just like chill out and work. Um, but on the way, I don't know why I'm laughing. On the way, like literally on, because I feel like at the time I said this would be a funny story, and I feel like now it kind of is. But
yeah.
basically we got like local bus from Ella down to the coast, and we were on that local bus, and I got a text from my family in Iran that my grandma had passed away. So she was 97, or 96, something like that. Nobody really knows. And like obviously like had like
You were
lived a
just
great
with
life,
her.
but yeah. So I had like come from Iran to Sri Lanka, so like I had seen her like 2 weeks beforehand, which was like incredible, especially because that trip to Iran before Sri Lanka was just by choice, was just by chance because I had a few free, like I had 10 free days before going to Sri Lanka. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to Iran and see the family. Um, And I'm so glad I did now, obviously, because I got to see her like just 2 weeks before. So yeah, we're literally like sitting on this bus and I get that message. So I literally get to the coast and we get a tuk-tuk to our accommodation. Abby obviously wasn't getting enough attention, so she fell into a fucking drain. And then we like go
Literally
into
like
our
up to
hostel.
my boobs.
Yeah, like up to like literally like her entire body was in the drain. And then
With backpack on, and I think
yeah,
I would have gone in
we
further if I didn't have backpack on.
no, literally, we go into the hostel and she like essentially passes out. I have to like lie her on the floor, and I'm like, I don't want to make this all about me, but like, are we joking?
And I literally came round and I was like, why the fuck did I have to make this about me? It was bad though.
It was like, as in, like, I've never seen somebody go that green so quickly.
I literally couldn't
Um,
see. George,
yeah,
Shireen was
literally.
literally like feeding me like sugar cubes on the floor. It was bad.
Anyway, like literally 2 hours like after getting to the coast, I got a taxi back up to the airport and like 5 a.m. the next morning flew back to Iran. So that's why I didn't get to go to the coast. Um, but my question was going to be, a few people that I've spoken to
I know what your
since that,
question
like,
is.
obviously,
Yeah.
were the locals, did the locals treat you differently on the coast than they did
Yeah.
not on the coast? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tourism thing. And do you know what's really sad is like obviously we had this like really lovely opinion of the locals, and then I got to the coast and honestly it's crazy. There's a tuk-tuk mafia. So like their version of um like Uber for tuk-tuk. Um there's like a mafia, so you can't get picked up from this app in certain locations. Or like they just won't come to you at all because they know they'll get like attacked. There's a surf instructor mafia, as in like a guy was pushing his girlfriend on a board and got beat up because they didn't get a surf instructor. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, and so I have like a couple of mates that live out there, and like two of them went out like well one of them went out with like a backpacker one day, but because she was an instructor, she was like, I couldn't give you any tips because like I knew like they'd go for me. And then I did hear a few stories of like men with like extra overdrunk women and stuff like that, but the thing is, the thing that I find like so sad, it's because of tourism. Like if you go from like it the rest of the country to the coast, it's so much more expensive. I mean, even in Ella, it was so much more expensive. I mean, me and Shireen was so overwhelmed when we got to Ella because it was like we'd hit a tourist
Honestly.
town. And then like got to the coast and it was so much worse. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say Hirakatia was like that because it's just like very small. People kind of just go there to surf. There's not really much there. Although like 5 years ago there was no road in, so it has changed quite a lot. But then yeah, other places on the coast like Marissa and like Wellagama, because they're like they're digital nomad hotspots now. Like that's where people go for their like lovely like hotel holidays. Yeah, it just is a different vibe. I mean, I personally didn't experience any of this. Like it's all just stories I heard. But yeah, it has changed a lot, and it's crazy. Like even if you look up some of the towns on the coast on Google Maps, because the pictures were taken like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they look so different then to now because they've just completely changed. Like one of the towns, one of my friends lives in, she was like, when I first moved here 5 years ago, there wasn't a high street, and now it's like there's like cafes all along the beach or like all along the water that you will also find in Bali. So the coast is definitely changing quite a lot. And it's interesting because like people say the further up your coast you go, it's like different, but it's not. Like I've had friends that have been since we went, and apparently it just gets worse. It's just more touristy the further up you go. So yeah, it's just quite sad to see. And like one of the guys we met in Kandy was like just really nervous for like kind of when tourism takes over, like they are aware
And like
it's
this
something
whole
that
thing of
potentially could
people,
happen.
like on social media and stuff being like, oh, it's like the new Bali. And like when we were in Candy, like the locals were like, I really just want people to stop saying that because we don't want to be Bali. Like we want to
Yeah,
just preserve our country.
yeah. Which is really, yeah, really sad.
I mean,
But
it's the
obviously we were
same. I
part of the
mean,
problem.
well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's the same here. And obviously, again, obviously, I'm part of the problem. Don't get me wrong. But like when I got here, so like last time I was here was June, like end of May, June last year. So like 9 months, say. And like the amount of new places, the amount of buildings that have come up, like is
Mm,
insane. Um, and like it's not even busy season yet, and it's busy.
mm,
Yeah. So
mm.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's. I mean, we are the problem as tourists, aren't we?
We are, unfortunately. We
Um,
are. And I
but
don't really know what the solution to that is, unless they literally cap the number of tourists that come in, but a country isn't going to do that.
no, it's not. And like I was talking basically one of my friends here, she just got here on like a couple of days ago as well from well, so she's been over, but she was in Sri Lanka for about 2 months. And we're like just talking about it and stuff and about that and like it's like obviously so much of it like a place becomes popular and then it does end up having to be on the government for to do something to like limit that or whatever. But also like in country like the countries that we're talking about are developing countries, and that surge of money coming into the country does make such a huge
Mhm.
difference right this second. And then by the time it gets to a point where it's like it got like you know think something needs to be done, it's already gone too far.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you
if you think
know?
about Bali as an island, do you remember, like, was it 2 years ago when they tried to limit the number of Aussies that could come
Yeah,
through? And it completely backfired, just like when they tried to stop so many people go climbing Mount Batur. And obviously the locals were like, you're literally taking our livelihood. Like,
and that's it. Like now, that's so much of like these some of these places. Like the locals now depend on tourism because like that is how they make money.
mm,
It just
mm,
means that it's like it is also like if you take
mm,
that away, what do you replace it with?
mm. But do you know what? Like, we say like it's just developing countries, like the town I live in, we're fully dependent on tourism. And like
No,
obviously I know
true.
it's different in some regards, but like if we didn't get tourists here, the town wouldn't survive. Like it literally wouldn't survive.
Mm.
And it's fully catered. We're a town of 5,000 people with 200 businesses on our high street. Like that isn't viable for the number of people that live here. Um, so it's exactly the same thing that like these things just appear like this, these towns, these cities, these whatever just appear like this, and then it hits this point where it's like, okay, actually this isn't economically viable or like sustainable for the landscape, but what can we actually do about it? Not really anything.
Yeah. No, 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 completely. No, you're right. Like it isn't obviously just as developing, but I guess like where we're seeing it so happen so rapidly and like
Mm.
destroying countries is
Yeah, yeah,
generally
yeah, for sure.
in the developing world
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
for
don't like
sure, because
because like in like Ireland for example, like there is laws about things like where you can build for like
yeah,
that you can't destroy a forest just to build one house, for example.
yeah,
Whereas in these countries, there isn't. I mean, I'm using this as a blanket statement because obviously I'm being dramatic, obviously. But like, there's an area like a 10-minute drive from where I am to like the main area most people go to in Sharjah is called General Luna, and that's like maybe like a 10-minute drive for me because I don't like it. It's very busy. And then 10 minutes in the opposite direction is an area called Libertad, and it's where like my co-working spaces and stuff.
hmm
But they're like literally destroying the land to start building
mm,
villas and stuff.
mm,
And it's starting to get really like, or like, as in, I reckon in like the next year, it's gonna like people like General Luna is gonna like basically move to Libertad, because General Luna is not sustainable any longer. And like that is like now it's starting to, it's kind of like it's like Bali, right? Like it started in one, and then like
mm,
that one became over, and that's basically what's starting to happen here as well.
mm. It's sad, it's sad, it's sad, and it's also not obviously not good for the natural environment, especially if you're getting rid of trees.
Oh yeah, completely, and they are because I mean all these islands were either beaches or um jungle basically, were forests,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Um, but then I say that while I sit here, so I mean I don't have much of a leg to stand
I
on.
know it's
So
hard.
you
It's
know?
hard, but then I guess like we can acknowledge and know that we are doing bad, right? Whereas
Yeah.
there is some people that go and just don't have any awareness for what's going on around them.
Yeah, no, completely. And obviously, like trying to keep as like local and stuff as possible and all that kind of stuff. And I guess with the damage that I am doing, try to reduce that as much as I can while still living here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, we will do like a whole episode on Sri Lanka, the way we like do episodes on all the different countries that we've been to. What else do we need to talk about?
Well, should we just bite the bullet and let's go in?
Yeah. Okay, so hello, sorry to interrupt. This is Shireen just on my own right now. If you're not watching, if you're just listening. Um I'm sure you've kind of guessed, but the next kind of segment in this podcast episode is going to be all about Iran and what is happening there. Myself and Abby recorded what I think was a very, very good piece on the country and the history and politics of the country. However, listening to it back, I've just made the decision that it is not safe to put out right now. Not safe for me or for my family that are in the country. So for now, I'm going to put that piece of content to the side. I really hope someday in the not too distant future, it is safe for me to publicly put that out and express those opinions. But for now, I'm just going to kind of on my own just give you guys a little wrap up about what's been happening, because it is definitely the main reason that well, it's been the main thing that's kind of encompassing my life at the moment, but it is also the reason the pod's been on a break for so long, because I just haven't been in an emotional state. I haven't been able to kind of go beyond just work for the last few months. So I mean, there's a much longer history, and again, we could talk about this at another time when it's safe to do so. But basically, I was back in Iran in October, and I got to see all my family. And then we mentioned earlier in this episode of the pod that 2 weeks after I left, my grandma passed away, and I went back, and I'm so glad that I got to see her just before she passed. I feel very, very incredibly lucky that that was the case. So I was there until the beginning of December. And then since the end of December, between internal protests and now the US-Israeli war, the country has been in a state of emergency, a dire state. I don't really know how to put it. Well, I am conscious that I am being a little bit cagey, but I have to be. I have to, yeah, be conscious of what I'm saying. On today, which is the 2nd of April, when I'm recording this piece, the country has been in war now with the US and Israel for 32 days. It's also been in a 32-day blackout, internet blackout. And I ask everybody listening to just take a little second to think about what that means for the people within the country during wartime. There's a lot of news and articles and stuff coming out, and it can be quite difficult at the moment to sift through what's real news, what's fake news, and kind of everything in between. So it's quite hard for me even to keep up with the news sometimes, because I just don't know what is real and what isn't. But we don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, it's such a volatile situation. I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I pray it's not for much longer, because the people in the country are really, really suffering, obviously. But right now, all we can do is wait. My family are safe, at least physically. Thank God. People have been able to get bits and pieces of messages out, and all I know is that they are safe. I also know that, from various people in the country, that, physical safety is one thing, but emotionally, mentally, people are really, really struggling at this point. Again, obviously, I feel like I'm stating the obvious. And obviously, I'm just hoping that, my family continue to stay safe, and that there's some resolution sooner rather than later. And you guys better all bet that the minute I can go back, I will be back hugging my family. And that day is something that I'm really, really excited about.
like I said, it is the reason that the pod's been on such a long break and why I've personally not been on socials. Sorry. I think a lot of people outside, the Iranians outside of the country, are kind of just trying to get through every day. So beyond work, which is basically all I've been doing, yes, part of that is traveling. Um, that's kind of all I've been doing. So yeah, for now that's kind of the only update I have and the only update that I can give. What I will ask everybody is, I know right now because of the fallout of what is going on, your flights are more expensive, your holidays have been cancelled, the cost of fuel is going up. I'm just asking anybody that's listening to this, and beyond the people listening to this, when you hear people complain about not being able to go on holidays or about the price of fuel, to just remember that there's people like paying with their lives every single day while you're paying a little bit extra for fuel. And just be really conscious of how you talk about that publicly. I know things are expensive. I get that, but like, you are in a safe place. You are alive, and your life is not at risk. So please just be conscious of that, because especially for people that are affected by what is going on in the world right now, going on to social media and getting to see and seeing you talk about your holiday being cancelled is like, makes you want to fuck their phone out the window, if I'm being honest. Anyways, so yeah, just be conscious of what you're saying, because believe me, it could be a lot worse. Yeah, I'm gonna close this here. We'll get back to the main pod, but thank you all for listening, and thank you for anybody that sent messages checking in on me and my family for the last few months. So back to the main pod.
I guess before I really don't want to end on that. I'd like to end on something a little bit
No, me
happier.
either.
So you just went on a trip with your mum to
Oh, I went on lots of trips, guys.
well, yes, but you and your mum just did it. Where did you guys go?
We went to Finland and Estonia.
Estonia, that's the one.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
First of all, Tallinn, capital of Estonia, guys, vibes.
Really?
So vibes. I've never seen so
Okay.
many Michelin star restaurants in a small area, such a small area, for one. Like, the food is insane. Secondly, it's you'll find quite a lot with Eastern European countries that there's not many younger people because they move elsewhere to live, because they can earn more, and it's just other countries in Europe are just prospering a bit better, and because of freedom of movement, they're able to do that. Estonia, no, it's like so like young hip vibe, like lots of like cool coffee shops, and yeah, it's a vibe, and like the history is insane. Like, yeah, it's a very, very cool place. And then
Tallinn will be a little, if I need a little, get out
little
of and do some traveling
gal, yeah,
over.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
while I'm in London, maybe Tallinn's the one.
Yeah, maybe. And then so you can get a ferry from Tallinn to Helsinki. You can get ferry to a few other places as well, but Thailand to Helsinki, it only takes a couple of hours. So you can technically do it as a day trip if you want. And obviously, in my like normal brain, asking questions and not knowing the answers, and then people asking why I'm asking these questions when they clearly don't know the answer because they're not Shireen and they don't understand that's
Classic.
how it works.
Correct.
One of my questions was like, how many people get the ferry for work every day? I still don't know the answer to that because obviously you get paid more in Helsinki in Finland.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
obviously.
went to Helsinki.
Is
Again, just
Estonia, sorry, this is very ignorant question. Is Estonia in the EU?
yeah, and it borders Russia.
Oh yeah, no, I knew it borders Russia, but it is in the EU. So sorry,
Yeah,
that question only came up because I was like, they could freely travel to Finland for work every day. That would be an issue. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
And that's kind of another reason why I wanted to go because of, I mean, everyone's kind of forgotten about what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine, but that is still happening, and there is lots of issues with countries that are bordering Russia at the minute, and being concerned about invasion. So kind of all the ones that border Russia have been quite high on my list for just in case. But yes, and then I went to Helsinki, which was super cool too. Great food. Just like nice to like walk around, good pastries, love a pastry. And then I went for a dip in the Baltic.
Oh my God, yeah, sorry, that looked absolutely, well, Baltic.
It was literally 0 degrees.
Yeah.
Like the sea was actually 0 degrees. And like for reference, guys, like the sea is normally like 12, 13 degrees in the UK. And think about how
I
cold
mean,
that
again,
is.
for reference, I went diving last week and the sea in the Philippines is 27 degrees and I wore a wetsuit and a shorty because I was cold.
Love that. So yeah, that was very cold but very good. But yeah, it was just loved both. And then went to Porto, missed my flight and got food poisoning. But yeah.
Well, do you know what? I completely forgot about the Porto chapter. That just went over my head.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you how we missed our flight.
Yeah, I still don't like you.
Honestly.
Sorry, explain to everybody what you said to me because, guys, I hope you're as confused as I am because I don't understand this at all.
Like 1 minute we looked at the board and the gate was open and we were on our way, and the next minute I looked at the board and the gate was closed. Like, I literally don't understand. And then good on Ryanair left us stranded at the airport because for anyone that's actually missed the flight, being inside the airport, you have to be escorted out. And Ryanair basically left us. And obviously there's us in the airport trying to find another flight. There was none to Porto that day. There was one to Lisbon, but it was full. And then there was one to Faro. And for anyone that doesn't know Portugal, Porto and Faro are basically opposite ends of the country. And so I was like, right, we're going to book the Faro flight. Couldn't book it online because it was like less than 5 hours from takeoff. And sorry, I would also just like to clarify at this point, it was less than 2 hours till takeoff, and Ryanair wasn't letting us out of the airport. So the new flight was going to be with Jet2, so we called Jet2 and was like, can you like help us out? Honestly, Jet2, amazing. One of the girls
really
hated Jet2, yeah, and one of the girls hated Jet2 before this because they hated Just Glenn. So, but yeah, honestly, they were amazing. Like got us out of the airport, sorted us new tickets, and like just were like super nice, super nice. But honestly, it was chaos. Like Ash couldn't even get into the airport with his boarding pass the first time round. Like someone had to come in and like help him get in. Yeah, then we missed our flight. Then we managed to rebook and got back in. And then I tried to get a bloody bag of crisps from a vending machine because but by this point we'd spent like 4 hours in the airport. And the bag of crisps got stuck. Then landed in Faro. I know. Landed in Faro, picked up the car. Oh my God, I don't think I've told you this, but actually picked up the car, was driving. Obviously it was dark. Took 6 hours to get to Porto. I hit a bunny. Because they literally, honestly, like came out. And I was like, but because it was like so fast that I couldn't do anything about it. All you could hear was the like, da-dun. Of me going over this bunny. I've never killed an animal before. That was hell. Stopped for food in like the service station because there was nowhere really to eat, and it just wasn't great. It was like our most expensive meal of the whole trip as well. But then we got there, and then it meant we had the car for the next day because obviously we hired a car. So then we like took the car out and like did some like bits out of the city, saw like some cute towns and stuff, which was really nice. Went for dinner that night, off a recommendation from a friend who's eaten there hundreds of times before, has friends that has eaten there hundreds of times before, got food poisoning. And it was bad. Like, bad. Yeah, and then nearly vomited in a church the next day, so went home and slept. And then I was actually fine. Then after I'd slept, I was like, okay, I can do this. And I had a nap. We went out to watch the sunset. We got up there a bit early, so I had a nap whilst we waited for the sun to set. Oh my God, I need oxygen. But do you know what? Loved Porto. Honestly, would go back in a heartbeat. Had a great time.
Would love to go.
Honestly, had a great time.
Yeah, we'll have to again add it to my list. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of European places that you've been over the last like year and a bit or whatever.
Yeah.
That I like now really need to go to. But sorry, just when you were saying about food poisoning, so I also got food poisoning last weekend.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like like that's the first time in my life that I've ever had like actual food poisoning. Like I've had water poisoning, I've had parasites, but I've never just had food poisoning ever. Isn't that mad? Anyway, now I have.
Yeah.
But basically we were flying from El Nido to Siargao, but to fly to Siargao you have to go through Cebu. So we were flying
Your
from
favourite.
El Nido to Cebu. Actually, do you know what? I really like it now. Completely like
Oh,
my mind's
interesting.
completely not really. Okay, I wouldn't say really like it, but I don't dislike it
Okay.
anymore. Yeah. Anyway, so we like arrive in Cebu, and I'm with two of the girls, and they, I was like, I just wasn't feeling great, and they were like going to get food, and I was like, do you know what? No, I'm just gonna stay in. And it was also Persian New Year, so I just thought I was a little bit depressed. Anyways, they like go out, and within like half an hour, I'm so ill, like so ill. And then the girls come back, and one of the other girls immediately throws up her food. And so the
No.
two of us so ill, like so ill. And then we had to be up at 4:45 to get our next flight. So like I don't think I don't know if I slept at all, but we like get to the airport, like get on the flight to Siargao, and they're only like the little propeller planes, so it's only like 2 and 2, but I'm on the inside, and there was this not very nice German girl on the outside. Anyway, I had to get up once to like get sick, and like the rest of the time I was just sitting on the plane, like rocking back and forth, like breathing, so that like I didn't like throw up or shit myself. So yeah, that was good. And then I also had a nap, and then I felt great.
Great. Amazing.
Yeah, so food
So if
poisoning
you
all
get
round
food poisoning,
moments.
guys, have a nap.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's that.
But yeah, that's
All
me
right.
so far this year. My big thing this year is to be doing trips with people, because
Yes.
I've realised that it's probably the last year I can do trips with people because everybody's doing the whole settling down thing. So I'm making the most of it.
That ship has very much so sailed for me. So
Yeah.
except for you, I still do trips with you.
Yeah. Although, are we going to do one this year?
I don't know. Oh, but end of the year, no? October.
Yeah, end of the year.
We're gonna go.
Yeah.
We're gonna go somewhere. We're gonna go somewhere. Just depends.
Yeah. I just
the
have a
plan was
wedding
originally.
the first weekend of October now, which is really annoying.
Oh, that is really annoying. So maybe the end of September then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's probably a good spot to wrap up this episode, because I feel like this episode there was a lot in there.
There was a lot in there, and I apologise, but it's all important stuff, guys.
Yeah, it is all important stuff, and obviously it has been so long, but I hope you guys understand why. So I know some people have messaged me being like,
Yeah.
"Is the podcast coming back?" And I'm like, yeah, it is coming back. I just don't have the emotional capacity right now.
I said to Shireen the other day, I was like, it's really been a big few months, like her whole life has come crumbling down, and I just chucked my whole life up in the air.
Yeah. So lots going on. I am glad to be back. Also, as I always say, it means that me and Abby actually speak, because we don't speak otherwise.
But the thing that's really funny is we speak most days.
Yeah, but we don't speak about anything. Like, as in, we just, like, it's not that, but it's like, we'll talk about something that has, like, happened that day, but then, like, huge updates, like, hi, like, I don't know, going to this country now, that we'll forget to talk about, but, like, she'll know that I, like, lost my toenail. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, that is it for this week, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for listening, and we will be back with a very exciting season. So yeah, as always, please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Bye.